Hey, YouTubers, what's up, guys? So, hello, Twitter folks. Hello, YouTube folks. This could be is an eye-opening space slash video because if you're willing to look at yourself honestly and really think through why you want to live your dreams, if you get a little better understanding of what the journey's like from someone, and in some part, yeah, I've definitely lived my dreams. I mean, there's no two ways about it. I circled the globe for the past 11 years, and it's been amazing and fun and freeing. But I think you have way too many people, guys, who have no fucking clue in hell what this journey's about. So you might be working your 9 to 5 job, you might be, raising your family, and you have these dreams like, man, and I'll just say what I'm doing with Kelly. You might say, man, that life that Ryan and his wife Kelly live of circling the globe as nomads, amazing. No attachments, or almost no attachments, no strings. Holy smokes. Imagine what that feeling would be like. Just seeing the world and being in the moment and enjoying all those cultures. Yes, it's amazing. But almost no one will tell you, and this is from my experience as someone who's been living their dreams for 11 years. There's a few things that come to mind that almost no one tells you because it's really not too popular in the world. They don't want to really stress these ideas because there's not a lot of money in them. It's not consumerism, it's not materialism or any of that other bullshit. Almost no one tells you that this journey is inward. So you'll see a lot of people through the ego will talk about acquiring more money and getting more homes and buying more cars and reaching the next level of success. And I'm guilty of this as well, guys. Like, I do it from time to time. However, I am becoming more mindful and intentional in not moving down this path of more and more and more. It's like A Course in Miracles. Jesus says, what is an idol? More. Yeah, right? So you're probably thinking that living your dreams, because nobody's really telling you that it's not more, that it is more. More money, more freedom, more fun. So don't even think the freedom and fun. Think more outside things, right? A better job, more cash, promotion, a bigger business. That's a big one. Scale. Now you could hire employees and start your company and become a founder. So there's this, most people wrongly believe that living your dreams is outward focused. And as your dream expands, there'll be more things, more money, more employees. You're a founder, a bigger company, more trips, more things, more outside things. Go outward, go outward, go outward, go outward more, get more followers, get more people to listen to your space, get more people to follow your YouTube channel, get more people to watch. More, promote more things. That's bullshit, because living your dreams is an inward journey. When you do it genuinely, you're really doing it from the heart. The journey's inward. As you live your dreams, it becomes more and more about going into your mind, facing your fears, being less and less concerned with more things, more money, bigger business, more scaling, less and less concern. That's what I'm saying. And more about going into your mind, training your mind, going within, being more present, noticing more, watching more, being more detached from things, caring less about money, caring less about the bigger business. Now, the money in the business will take care of themselves and they may increase in size and scale, yet you will be largely detached from that aspect of it. And when you watch people who speak with intentionality, they will say they really do it because of the passion and helping people. And that's really what living your dreams is about. It's for other people. It's not really for you. That's another thing. That's another thing that people, they are not going to slap that on a coffee cup and make that a slogan. Living your dreams is not really about you. It's about other people. How's that going to sell in a world of ego? Not too well. So as you're really going within and you're realizing that this journey is not about you, your dreams may change. And that's something else they don't tell you. So for me, when I initially thought about circling the globe and sticking to the tropics, and yeah, I started the travels with Kelly and it was amazing. Then the ego was thinking about more countries and these specific countries and those specific countries. And I got to go here and I got to go there. But as I went more into my mind and I started seeing my intent, am I doing this for ego? Am I doing this to get more? Or am I doing this to have fun inspiring other people and to trust my intuition? And the more I did that, the more I went into my mind, my dreams changed. And instead of traveling to specific places, Kelly and I felt this pull to begin house sitting. And then when house sits would pop up, we would choose our destinations based on what sits popped up. It was brilliant. Brought us to places like Oman, which I never would have thought of traveling to unless there was a house sit there. It brought us to places like Qatar, Qatar, people here in the West say, including the old me, which I never would have thought of traveling to unless a house had popped up there. Cyprus, I never would have thought of traveling to Cyprus. So the dream was going to all these different places at first, and then my dreams began to change when I intuitively trusted my gut, my heart, spirit, intuition, whatever you want to call it, that nudged us to say, well, what sits pop up? Whatever sits pop up, travel there. Apply for sits, get approved, and travel there. And it felt cool. And there was something really cool about it, as the way the intuition works, because it's for the good of all. Spirit, called Holy Spirit, whatever. We were not only traveling and inspiring people through our pictures and helping people with our travel stories and travel experiences, which was quite awesome. We were rendering a very helpful service, heartfelt service that people deeply appreciated and caring for their pets. So not only were we traveling and inspiring, which felt really good, and it was about other people's, the dream had changed and we'd become these house sitters that a lot of people deeply appreciate. They don't have to put their pets in boarding, which can get kind of expensive and it could be stressful. So their pets could have their same routines in their homes with these caring, loving people, house sitting, caring for the house as well. So that was another level of dreaming that changed. So the dream changed. It wasn't about more. It wasn't about doing what I wanted. It was about going into the mind. It was inward journey. It's an inward journey. It's not about more things and more stuff and doing more. It's about migrating deeper into your mind, journeying deeper into your mind, training your mind, doing more from love, less from fear, facing your fears, getting clear, listening to your intuition, listening to your spirit, doing things that don't seem very logical, letting go things, I have a week's worth of clothes, a carry-on, a backpack, and that's it. We have a car. When we're here in the States, we drive around, but when we go abroad, that's it. Those are my physical possessions. Of course, cash, money, wallet, some cards. But like, really though, on a worldly level, I have a few possessions. Bunny over there? Yeah. That was my dream morphing. When I started traveling 11 years ago, I didn't set the intent because I was a lot more egoic based. It was more out, well, I'm going to have a week's change of clothes 11 years from now. I mean, even less than that, but 11 years from now, I'm going to have a week's change of clothes and I'm going to be a pure minimalist, not because it was an in thing to do or a fad, but because it's practical and because hey, Miles, saying that, and because I went deeper into my mind. That's what happens, guys. Nobody tells you this. Very few people tell you this. Very few people tell you that as your dream. What almost no one tells you about living your dreams, as you live your dreams, it becomes less and less and less and less about things and stuff and achievements and accomplishments. And the ego, which wants all of these things, all it does is want things. It wants more and more about migrating, journeying, burrowing deeper and deeper into your mind, into the unconscious mind, and trusting your intuition explicitly and ignoring your ego as much as possible, ignoring the ego chatter and facing your fears and doing things with love for other people. That's what dreams are. Your dreams aren't for you. This can be uncomfortable. These are not consumer friendly messages. I mean, you guys get the drill. You see how the matrix is set up. This is not egoic. This video is not egoic. It's not for the ego. It's not for that. It's actually for you, who you really are, spirit. It's for your heart. It's for your happiness. It's for your peace of mind, because there's something you'll learn too. There are times during my trip, guys, where I was really depressed. There were moments where I was suicidal early during my trip. Moments where I ran into real hardships, financial hardships. And Kelly was a rock. I was a rock a lot of the time. And then other times we're pebbles. We had some domestic issues. We had fights. We're on the road. There was one time we were in Laos. We had $5. We had a $5 bill, and that's all we had to our name. So you will begin to understand what you're about. Does that sound like a dream life? I mean, this is 2012. You will begin to understand who you are when you have $5 in one of the worldly most just poorest countries in the world. You will begin to understand what fear is. You will begin to understand what trust is. You will begin to understand what's in your mind. You will begin to understand how your unconscious mind is picturing all the dream figures. They're playing everything out based on your unconscious mind. And this is the type of stuff you really begin to realize when you have $5 in your possession to your name. You and then girlfriend, Kelly, we had $5 and we're here in this country in the middle of nowhere. So that's when you begin to figure out, whoa, I'm facing my deepest fears now. I'm going to have no money and I'm going to starve and I'm going to die and I'm in a foreign country. So these are when you really start to, and this is something people don't tell you that. I mean, you do hear that a little more in inspirational movies and some maybe fluff pieces. Oh, he was penniless or whatever. But when you go through that experience, that's another thing people don't really tell you. When you faced your deepest fears, you're getting closer and closer to your most genuine dreams, your clearest dreams, your most freeing experiences than you could ever imagine. Yet, most human beings live their entire human lives basically engineering their lives through any desperate, greedy, just deluded ways necessary to avoid facing their deepest fears. Get a job to avoid the terror of losing all of your money. Get a job to get health benefits so you don't get sick and die. Keep busy, keep distracted. So that keeps the cogs of the world really well oiled. But you ain't living your dreams when you're living in fear because they're antithetical. You can't do something for other people and help them and serve them and enjoy it and have fun and feel at peace when you're freaking terrified to lose all your money and to get sick and die, and you make your predominant life decisions. You spend so much of your life trying to avoid the deepest fears of losing all your money, poverty, getting sick and dying. They just don't go together. You can't live in survival mode and thrive. You can't live your dreams if you're trying to survive. One comes from the survival mode is the deep illusion of fear. It's the deep, dark shadow world, people who are asleep. The minds are asleep. The bodies are moving around, but like mannequins. And the minds are asleep in fear. That's one end of the spectrum. That's the dark shadow. Then on the other end, which is an equal illusion, but it's the light shadow of someone living in love and harmony and service and moving towards their dreams and then watching their dreams morph. So these are totally different antithetical worlds that, guys, you don't make these realizations by reading a book. It's like A Course in Miracles. Jesus says you have to experience it. The book is for practical experience. That's why the book is so beautiful. It's not reading and reciting shit mindlessly. It is practicing the lessons and experiencing. You believe based on the experience. You believe based on the practice. You trust. You see that this world's an illusion. You live your dreams until they become about other people. You trust your intuition. And of course, yeah, there's some egoic pleasure and preference until you're enlightened. It's not about putting the ego to the side. It's about working with it and then understanding, like a video like this or a space like this or however you're coming across me right now. It's understanding that this video is going to jar your ego, maybe. Yeah, probably so. Or maybe it's not. Maybe you're further along in your mind training and you're realizing, yeah, dreams really are for other people and it's not more money. But you have to be honest with yourself too, guys. And that's another thing. People won't tell you about living your dreams. Hey, Natalie. Hey, seniors. People don't tell you that when you're living your dreams, and again, guys, this is my personal experience doing this for 11 years. People generally, few people tell you that you will not only face your deepest fears, some of the most, and it's only egoic, it's all egoic, so you have to realize that, guys, but some of the most genuinely heart-wrenching, horrible situations, seemingly, the appearance, the illusion, in your life will open up parts of your mind that will help you access talents that you had no idea existed. We're all spirit, so we're all unlimited beings. We could all do anything. We could touch. I mean, we're just way beyond this body bit and this ego bit. However, because the ego is so damn stubborn, what happens as you're moving towards your dreams, like spirit will do things precisely, always with love, but it will remove certain aspects. With me, it removed my money a number of times to reveal certain unconscious, disastrous fears, patterns, that I had to face. it helps you basically when you move towards your dreams, move towards the light by unearthing the darkness. And unearthing the darkness means having someone you love die. It means losing all your money. Not always, but this is the type of stuff that happens. It means losing your business. It means being sued. It means just your deepest fears, in some cases, in a lot of cases, coming up for you to feel, which feels horrible. Yet, when you clear the horrible feelings, you access talents, gifts, skills long buried that, in a way, it just, I mean, egoically, but it stuns you. Like if I look at myself on this video now, I'm like, oh, more than 11 years ago. I mean, 11 years ago I started traveling, but 15 years ago I started blogging. I was very shy. I was self-conscious. I was hypercritical of people. I was, hey, thanks so much for joining. Hey, my fault. I was hypercritical for myself. Like most people, I hated myself. And like most people, I hated myself, and I masked that hate by being angry, by being critical, by even using humor as a deflecting mechanism. So there's these large aspects of me, and there is some happiness and love for sure. But it wasn't until I said, well, I'm going to run a business and circle the globe, two of the most uncomfortable things you could do individually, mix them, and you live life on a razor's edge for a while, guys. I was fucking overwhelmed for quite a long time because I'm facing all these deep money fears and fears of criticism, fears of failure, fears of losing my family, criticism from family at times. And it was okay. It was all part of the journey, losing my money, tough times and moments. And we were so just bonded to it out of, but there were times it was really tough between me and Kelly on this journey. All egoic, like all problems in life, because there are no problems. They're all dreamed, all imagined, just like life. But I only found this stuff out because I decided to live my dreams. And I decided when I was laid off as a security officer not to go back, not to go to another terminal, not to go back to the 9 to 5. Now, for some folks, working a 9 to 5 and living that life is their dream. Everybody has a different dream. It's just that we know that most folks who are doing the 9 to 5 aren't doing it from a state of intuitive bliss. You have to be very honest. And that's another thing people don't tell you. You're really, really glad that you're at least getting some 401 now. You have to be clearly honest, truthful, and straight and clear with yourself. Will agree with us, so then we agree with them, and we all have similar viewpoints, and we just feel so confident, and everybody loves it. And then it's like we're living in this little bubble of a few human beings firmly ensconced in the hell realm of our comfort zones, and we're completely deluded. There's billions of other human beings out there. And when you live your dreams, you're going to start meeting them. And you're probably going to move into a different realm as far as friendships, because a lot of friends you've had in the past aren't moving towards their dreams per se. They might be moving towards survival mode, which is okay, or staying in survival mode, and that's totally cool. It's nothing, but we're eternal spirit. We're forever, so they'll figure out eventually. They'll have to. We all have to. We already have, but that's another Course in Miracles lesson. But anyway, as far as a platitude, and you'll see that some of the quote goats, Randy Gage, giving their quote goats on Twitter will talk about it. But I'm talking about this real, genuine, raw, straight on. Who am I here? What do I think? Who have I been? And this is another thing, guys, just doing the business building bit and the world traveling bit. There can't almost be two other worldly practices, or there are few, that trigger your deepest fears and catapult you outside of your comfort zone like these two practices. Business-wise, look at all the money blocks we have in business. Jeff Bezos went 100, 200 billion into debt, or not billion, million into debt, 150 million into debt. And most people are shitting a brick if they have $30 on their credit card payment this month. Think of that level of emotional intelligence. That's 50 universes apart. And you have to develop it. I'm not saying going 150 million in debt to build, the most prospering business ever, but you can't be afraid and crap your pants over a $30 credit card payment, and then you're so terrified to lose $30, or that you think they're going to sue you or whatever, and then say that you're a bold entrepreneur who puts it all out there. So that's horseshitting yourself. And when you live your dreams, you learn, oh man, I have a long ways to go mentally as far as money. I'm afraid to lose $30 this month. Not lose $30, but owe $30 to a credit card company. And I just want to blog on a free platform. But I'm so bold and I want to chase my dreams with everything. And then I'll say, okay, invest $200 this year as in domain and hosting this year as a blogger. And they'll be like, oh, I can't do that. I can't lose $200. And then I'll say you're light years away from being a professional blogger. You have to be honest with yourself. You're afraid to lose $200. You're afraid to waste your time. How could you ever put in 10,000 hours of blogging to build up something special? How could you ever put in 5,000 hours? Reality check. That's what I do. I had to be truthful with myself to be here, to develop these skills, to develop these talents, to face my fears, to leave my comfort zone. So that's what I do with you guys. Shit in myself, and I deluded myself for so many years. I was a very depressed, angry, bitter man in some ways. And I had some happiness in there, but I was just, I get a job, pay some bills, and die eventually. When you step towards your dreams, you will start seeing the truth. You will start leaving your comfort zone. You will be liberated by the truth. You'll be at peace. And then you'll notice people around you in an illusion that aren't being truthful with themselves, that aren't living their truths, and that are living in delusion, just trying to survive, not living their dreams. And it makes me think of the Bob Proctor quote, when most people, their heart stops beating, it's a formality. Okay, that true? Yeah. You live your dreams, no way. But it's uncomfortable, but it's freeing. Kelly and I lived 6 weeks in a remote Costa Rican forest in Costa Rica. Hey, Megan, a remote forest. Jungle in Costa Rica. It's Caribbean side. And we hiked 3 hours into the jungle, 3 hours away from the next human. It was a hut. Ha shack, basically. Outhouse, no electricity, no refrigerator. Lived off the land and the provisions that the Gringo Sherpa picked up each week and brought back in Kelly. But just, of course, an experience like this is intense, but talk about expanding more dreams from that experience. The fears I had to face, the peace of mind, the serenity of having 12 hours of just sitting there. And a lot of stuff came up, a lot of, dark shadow, dark night of the soul stuff unfolding out there. But then sitting there for 4 hours watching a sloth in the middle of the wilderness, middle of the jungle, how peaceful, how serene. That's what life's about. And then sharing it with you guys. So when you guys hear this, you might say, there might just be this little switch, this little tick goes off and say, man, I'd love to live in the jungles of Costa Rica, or maybe not live there, but at least travel there, at least see a sloth. Ryan gave me that idea. That's another example, guys, of this dream that I'm living. It becomes more and more for you. And you're going to find that too. The further you go down your path of your dream life, it's not going to be about collecting stuff, not about more promotions, not about 6 figures, not about 7 figures, not about starting a company, not about no. It's just going to be more about other people and helping them and inspiring them, and not about you. And some of that business stuff will expand and money will expand, but you'll see the goals are. So many just deluded, asleep minds. They're thinking that more money is going to solve their depression problem. I was just watching a video, John Bernthal, the Punisher, has a really cool podcast, and he was interviewing Shia LaBeouf, and just all the problems he had with alcoholism and abuse, abusive domestic relationships, some really rough stuff in his childhood, and how he had that turning point of seeing a miracle that only surfaced when he was sharing with himself. And he was always been about the ego and about him and wiggling out distractions with his movie roles. And he talked about doing a movie he didn't even care about. He was rushing off to do another movie he didn't care about, and all these intense experiences. And through this one analogy, he realized that all these traumas were his ego induced. And now the rest of his life is about being honest with himself and being patient and seeing his mind as it is. And already he could see the difference. And just, following a story a little bit, you could feel it, because it's not about distraction now with alcohol or acting or worldly stuff or drama or a distraction-based art where it's not so much the expression of love. And he talked about that. Obviously art could be super duper inspiring too, but like anything, if it's egoic, then it's not going to be great. I lived next to a starving artist for a while. An awesome guy, but a lot of darkness, drug abuse, alcohol abuse, poverty. And that's just a lot of folks. And it's because of the ego and not following their dreams. It's more about an egoic, maybe more, maybe being loved. And it's not about that, being loved by more people, being more popular, being accepted. Your dream becomes artist's dreams. It becomes a collective as you're on the journey. And so few people tell you that because it's like sell that it's going to be about other people. Me. So guys, we're about a half hour in. I really appreciate you guys joining on YouTube and on Twitter with the spaces. So I went over a bunch of stuff. Feel free to share this with your friends if you enjoyed it. There was a lot of aspects of me living my dream life of circling the globe for the past 11 years that I just had no idea when I stepped into it. I had no clue that it was more about other people, and I certainly didn't in other people's dreams. And I certainly didn't realize, nobody had really taught me or explained, or I didn't come across this talisman of wisdom, that it's an inward journey. It becomes more and more and more and more and more and more about your mind. Because right now, if you're thinking egoically, you think it's me and you. So you're like, there's this guy, Ryan Biddulph, in upstate New York, wearing this red shirt, who circles the globe. He's the blogging from paradise guy. We're separate, but we're not. It's only one quantum field. The more you train your mind, you begin to, little infinitesimal bit at a time, maybe a little bit more, realize that it's just one presence. So as you move more and more towards your dreams and you go deeper on this dream, it all becomes journeying back into your mind and seeing that everyone in every circumstance, in every situation, is playing out your unconscious beliefs. Not only are there no accidents, it's all intentional. But most people don't journey into their mind because they don't decide to train their mind. And a lot of it's just they don't walk towards their dreams. They don't walk that path. They're stuck in survival mode because of these deep unconscious fears. And it's going to take some very uncomfortable decisions to start ferreting those fears out, to start dislodging the fears, chipping away at them. You can imagine a guy chipping away, or gal, at granite. But it's okay. They'll come up. But when they do, prepare yourself. It's going to be uncomfortable. But why else would you be, in this illusory human experience for a bit other than to wake up for the dream? Wake up from the dream? I mean, that's the point. To wake up from the dream altogether. And it really starts with journeying inward. And the more you're walking towards your dreams, or you're on your dream path, on your dream journey, it becomes a mind thing. And the more it becomes a mind thing, it's terrible sometimes, but it gets easier because you don't really work. You're just observing your mind. You appear to be working and serving and helping, and it's more about other people, then you're still just one. But let's just say on the worldly level, more about other people, more about my dreams. No, not really my dreams. It's it's for them. And you also begin to realize that it's just all in your mind. And we're joined in mind. And it's not really great for consumerism or capitalism or any of that. That's all on things and stuff. And feel free to acquire the money and the things and the stuff. That's okay. But always train your mind gradually to put that stuff into perspective, to see that it's symbolic. They're symbols, they're illusions, because they're up, they appear to materialize, and then they fade away. Rabbit in there. All right, guys, I'm going to roll. Thanks so much for joining. Really appreciate it. Ta-ta, YouTube. And Twitter. Really appreciate it.